Okay, in this video, I'm going over UFC Fight Night, Leon Edwards versus Sean Brady. The Fight Night overall was horrible. I thought it was very boring. There was a couple highlights, some submission wins, but nothing super fun, nothing super exciting. There was a lot of guillotines. And we're going to get into the main card in this video, which is the only part of the card that I predicted. I did pretty shitty on predictions, to be honest. And I'm mad about a couple fights, but we'll get into it. Nathaniel Wood versus Morgan Charrier is where we start. I went with Morgan. I thought he would have the finishing potential, but to be honest, Nathaniel Wood was he kind of edged Morgan Charrier out in the finishing potential, at least in this matchup. Nathaniel Wood just did really good. He did fucking good. This was a very close fight to predict in general. I just thought Nathaniel would has had very close performances like in every single fight, and Morgan has been putting people out, and they're both just very good, well-rounded fighters. But Nathaniel Wood made Morgan Charrier look not that good at all. Nathaniel put a beating on him in every department of the fight. He rocked him multiple times. He hit him 89 to 69 significant strikes, and yeah, I think he clearly won. Nathaniel Wood just dominant the entire fight. He won all 3 rounds, just outstriking Morgan Charrier on the feet. His hands were lethal. Morgan Charrier couldn't get going. And Nathaniel Wood made it look pretty easy, which is not what I thought at all was going to happen. So, good for Nathaniel Wood. Next, Jordan Fucenic versus Chris Duncan. So, I went with Jordan Fucenic. I thought he was going to be better. I thought he was going to be able to stuff takedowns. I thought he was going to be able to implement his own grappling if he wanted to. And I thought he would be better on the feet. He was. He was way better on the feet. Jordan Fucenic had the foot game down. But what I didn't predict was Jordan Fucenic not doing what he needed to do to win. Instead of striking where he was good, he decided to shoot for a takedown right into Chris Duncan's sweet spot, his domain, and he gets submitted via guillotine. Taps, which I don't like when fighters tap to guillotines. I feel like it's really hard to just pass out cold from a guillotine, especially when the one Chris Duncan had him in, when you're mounted. It's just like, I guess it would be easier to pass out from that one, but I don't know. I feel like guillotine is one of the submissions that you can kind of just, if you have it's different. A rear naked choke, you're gonna pass out. A guillotine, I feel like there's like a 75% chance you don't pass out. So I don't get tapping, but he might have been just completely out in taps, which is okay, I guess. But the story of this fight was Jordan Fucenic winning on the feet, Chris Duncan wanting it on the ground, and Jordan Fucenic giving Chris Duncan what he wants. And that was a mistake for Jordan Fucenic. Chris Duncan submits Jordan in the second round. The first round wasn't super entertaining or anything. I kind of gave it to Jordan. I thought he did a little bit more. But I don't know. Jordan Fucenic would get up after getting taken down, but he wanted it on the ground for himself for some reason. So he just gave it to him. 22 to 24 significant strikes, so not a whole lot of action. So yeah. Lame. Next, Molly McCann versus Alexia Thanara. So, I didn't do much research into this one before I predicted it, but I went with Thanara. I thought she was going to be more powerful and better all around, and I thought Molly McCann is not that good, and that was my big prediction. And I was right. Alexia beat her in the first round, 4 minutes 32 seconds, by, what the fuck was it? Rear naked choke. Yeah, they were on the ground. Alexia took her down, got her back, choked her out. Molly McCann defended the first choke. She did okay. No, she didn't. She got submitted. And then Alexia jumped up and down, face planted, and then started twerking. So that was interesting. And then Molly McCann retired, and Patty cried, and it was a big thing. And that sucks for Molly McCann. She's not that good. She has that spinning like elbow knockout, and she has her highlights, and she's interesting mainly because of Patty. So it's kind of sad to see her go, but at the same time, it's like, who really cares? But yeah, Molly McCann loses. It was expected, so nothing crazy there. Alexia is a weirdo. She danced for like 25 minutes to get into her walkout, and it was really funny to look at. And then she won and then twerked. So looking forward to see her fighting in the future, I guess. Next, Gunnar Nelson versus Kevin Holland. So Kevin Holland, he did it. He's staying in the UFC. He survived. He's not getting cut. 45-70 man is here to stay. And I am all here for it. Kevin Holland as a villain is something that I'm okay with. I'm okay with people hating him, and I'm okay with him kind of losing his likability. I think Kevin Holland kind of needs a chip on his shoulder a little bit. If he can start becoming like a super trash, he's always been the big mouth or whatever the fuck his name is. But if he can start really trash talking, like just being an asshole, I think we can get some fun out of some Kevin Holland performances in the future. And where it doesn't really matter if he wins or loses, the UFC will want to keep him around because he's even more of a star. I think where he's at right now, he's in the middle where people are losing interest because he's not winning, and now he's being unlikable. So the people that still liked him before are not liking him at all. If he can get one more win and then be a huge dick, I think that's where we get a star out of Kevin Holland once more. But the fight. So Gunnar Nelson did good with the takedowns in the first two. He was getting, or in the whole fight, he was getting takedowns pretty well. Um, this was a very close fight, to be honest. But Gunnar Nelson, I did think Kevin Holland won. Gunnar Nelson was getting the takedowns. Um, I thought Kevin Holland won every round, though, to be honest. I think Kevin Holland did more damage, even off of his back, than Gunnar Nelson was doing with the takedowns. Um, Gunnar Nelson had submission attempts, so he might have won that one round where he went for the arm triangle and almost had it really close. I'm pretty sure it was the third round. Maybe not. It could have been the second. I don't know. But it was 138 to 30 total strikes, 55 to 15 significant. Kevin Holland clearly won in damage all around. I thought he clearly won the fight, but he was getting controlled for a long fucking time. So I wouldn't be surprised if they would have gave it to him, seeing as how some judges have been scoring things. But Kevin Holland, even from his back, he'd get taken down easily, which is a huge weakness in his game, and it's always going to be if he doesn't fucking lock in, which he's never going to do because he thinks he's going to get cut. He needs to think about that. All through all his nonchalant dreadhead energy, he needs to realize that he's going to get cut if he doesn't lock in, especially in the grappling. But with that being said, Kevin Holland off his back is a dangerous man. He was throwing strikes the whole time, throwing up kicks, throwing axe half up kicks through the back of Gunner's head, and throwing up submissions the whole time. So Gunner couldn't really get going in the grappling, anything he would really want. He got that one submission attempt that looked really good, but Kevin Holland wasn't going to tap to that, luckily. And Kevin Holland in the first round rocked him bad after getting held for the majority of the round. Kevin Holland, he looked good on the outside the whole fight as well. But yeah, in the first round, they got up and Kevin Holland blasted him with the right hand and dropped Gunner bad and hit him with some lethal ground and pound, but couldn't get him out of there. So, yeah, I think Kevin easily won 2 out of 3 or all 3 to me. And he just did more damage the entire fight anyway. Gunner was doing good in the wrestling and he has good jiu-jitsu, but Kevin's kind of a freak and he's lengthy, so he couldn't really get going. So, Kevin Holland wins. I'm very glad. I'm very happy about this. I want him moving forward in the UFC in general. I don't really care about Gunnar Nelson. At least Kevin Holland has something to his personality. And even if it is stupid, it's funny. Next, Jan Blachowicz versus Carlos Ulberg. I don't like how this went. It was a tit-for-tat battle on the feet the entirety of the fight. It was more or less boring. I thought Jan Blachowicz won, so that sucks because I went with Jan Blachowicz. I really thought Jan Blachowicz was going to win, clearly. But he made it very close with Carlos Ulberg. I will say it was a very fucking close fight to predict or to call, to score. But I thought Jan Blachowicz clearly won the first round with low kicks. I thought he was chewing up the leg of Carlos Ulberg in the first, and he was hitting his shots on the feet more efficiently than Carlos Ulberg and more effectively the entire fight, in my opinion. But second round, I do think Carlos Ulberg edged it out a little bit. He was landing his shots a little bit more. He's going for it a little bit more. He wasn't backing up as much the entire time in the second as he was the entire fight. But he was backing up a lot the entire fight. I will say that. That if we're going to go with octagon control time, which judges love to use every once in a while, Jan Blachowicz had all of it. So I don't understand really, I don't get why they would give Ulberg the win off of tit-for-tat striking on the outside, kicking Jan Blachowicz in the leg, but when Jan Blachowicz lands a leg kick on Ulberg, it is thudding and it is fucking strong. And it's Jan Blachowicz who's very good at leg kicking in general. When Carlos would land on Jan, it was either checked or it was shit. So I really don't get the significant strike count. It was 75 to Olberg, 59 to Jan Blachowicz, but I don't. Effectiveness matters, I feel, because Olberg just hit him barely. I know Jan Blachowicz got cut open at one point, but everything Jan Blachowicz was hitting him with was just a little bit better than Carlos. And Carlos was backing up the entire time, running away from Jan. In the third round, it was very close up until the very end, and Jan Blachowicz put it on at the very end, and I thought it won him the round. It's just annoying. I just thought Jan did more, but to be honest, he probably didn't do enough to clearly win, and it's one of these freak kickboxing guys like Izzy, so you kind of have to, I don't know, you have to beat him super clearly or something for some reason because they think Olberg's some super cool guy, even though he's had some boring shit happen lately. I don't know. It's just really annoying. I really wanted Jan Blachowicz to win, and the way Olberg won wasn't impressive. I mean, doing that with Jan Blachowicz, no matter who you are, is impressive because Jan Blachowicz is very well rounded and good. But I think just Jan won, so there's no hype for Olberg for me going forward, so it's just useless. But it's whatever. And Jan Blachowicz gets done so dirty all the time. He should have beat Magomed Ankalaev on damage. It's just annoying. But whatever. Carlos gets it done by robbery decision, in my opinion, but it's not that big of a deal. It was very close. I just like Jan Blachowicz a lot. And I don't know who we give Olberg next. I guess Yuri, maybe? We shoot him straight up to Yuri because Jamal Hill versus Khalil is, I guess, yeah. Olberg versus Yuri might have to be the fight to make. Maybe not. I'll think about it later. But yeah, lame to me, but who cares? In the long run, I'm sure Jan Blachowicz will fight again. He seems pretty cheery on his Instagram, so he'll be doing good. Next, main event: Leon Edwards versus Sean Brady. This is the one I'm very happy about because this is the one I called to a fucking T. Leon Edwards is fucking boring as hell without Headshot Dead, and I've been saying it forever. Without Headshot Dead, Bilal and Leon Edwards, there is no difference. There is no difference in their excitement level. And this fight really proved I was correct in the fact that Leon Edwards is a quitter, that he doesn't grit down the way he should in fights. And Sean Brady, to be fair, I didn't expect that. Sean Brady looked insanely good in this fight. Even on the feet in the second and third, Sean Brady just looked good. Like he didn't look good. He looked like shit when he was throwing. Like his shots were bad, but he was landing on Leon and landing more efficiently than Leon, in my opinion, even on the feet in those later rounds. 221 total strikes to 23. Sean Brady utilized the grappling extremely well, better than anybody has against Leon Edwards really ever, besides maybe Bilal. No, because Bilal didn't finish him. It's weird world we live in because Bilal made Sean Brady look like complete shit, and then Sean Brady does that to Leon. But I called it out. Leon Edwards is a quitter to me, and I thought Sean Brady was going to be able to break him with his stupid wrestling over the 5. And Leon Edwards doesn't get finishes now. He got him early in his career. He doesn't get finishes besides Headshot Dead ever. And yeah, that's pretty much what happened. It started out with a on the feet battle for a minute, but Sean Brady gets the where Leon Edwards was doing good in the first round on the feet. He was looking slick. But Sean Brady got the takedown at the end of the round, and it was like, ooh, we are not going to be in a good. If Sean's cardio holds up, because this was short notice, this isn't going to be a good night for Leon, and it did hold up very well. Sean Brady's fucking good at grappling. He has a win over Craig Jones in jiu-jitsu. He's very good. Second round, Leon Edwards and Sean Brady. Sean Brady takes him down and then holds him. And he gets his back at one point, I'm pretty sure either in the second or third. And Sean Brady he bullies him. He takes him to the fence. He grits him. He takes him down. Leon Edwards is starting to wilt as the fight goes on. Leon Edwards can't do much more anymore. He gets up sometimes after takedowns, but Sean Brady got 5 out of the 7, which is very impressive against Leon, who has pretty good takedown defense in general. As the fight goes on, Leon Edwards starts to wilt. Sean Brady starts to look better. full rounds in back position at this point for Leon Edwards. Just getting smothered by Sean in back position, trying to go for chokes and hitting Leon in the back of the head and the side of the head. And fourth round, Sean Brady gets a guillotine submission over Leon Edwards in mount after just the whole fight grapple fucking him and destroying him. And honestly, beating him on the feet in more moments than one, at least to me. Sean Brady did an excellent job at negating Leon Edwards' game plan. And I just knew Leon Edwards was done. He and this makes a lot of people look. It makes Usman look kind of shit, and it makes Covington look kind of shit, and it makes Ball look kind of like really shit. Like it makes everybody look shit if Sean Brady can do that well against Leon Edwards, who is just champ. It's a little odd, but good for fucking Sean Brady, and I'm very happy I called it out as exactly how it was gonna go. Submits Leon Edwards by guillotine. He had one arm in, and he just held it, and then he eventually grabbed his other hand and then cinched back, and Leon tapped right on his ass after he grabbed his ass, and then he tapped very lightly and then went fuck. So Leon Edwards is done. I'm surprised he didn't retire, but it's his choice, I guess. Leon Edwards, who is he going to fight next? I'm very curious who they match him up with. Maybe an Ian Gary, something like that. Same with Sean Brady. I don't think you give Sean Brady a title shot after this. I don't think so. I think you either give him Shafkat or Buckley. Or if Buckley has Usman, you have to give Sean Brady Shafkat, don't you? It's up in the air, but those are cool matchups in welterweight. I really need Jack Della Maddalena to win, but and after this performance, to be honest, it's hard to tell if that makes me more like makes it more likely for Jack to win because Bilal couldn't really do that to Leon Edwards. I mean, he slammed down on his head, but he got battered in the fifth by Leon. It kind of makes me more confident for Jack that Sean did that so easily to Leon where Bilal couldn't. So, that's pretty much it. The fight night in general sucked. The prelims sucked. There was a ton of robberies. And yeah, that's about it. It's a very underwhelming fight night. Next one will also probably be underwhelming. But the main event, I'm just very happy I predicted it correctly. I really need Jan Blachowicz. Justice for Jan Blachowicz, though. Hopefully he gets in there quick. He needs to stay active at this point in his career. And Kevin Holland is really funny, and I really hope he becomes a heel. And I think that's the summary of this fight night. And I will see you soon.